Hello, today we're going to demonstrate how to sync SharePoint and Outlook categories with ProperSync from Microsoft Outlook 1.3.3 or higher. On the screen here we have a normal out-of-the-box SharePoint calendar. It has not been customized at all. So the first thing we need to do on the calendar is set up the categories that we want to sync with Outlook. Because with ProperSync, the server, so SharePoint, decides which categories are going to be syncing. This minimizes the risk of conflicting categories between team members. Okay, so to do this, I go under List Settings for my calendar and click on the Category column. And I want to look at the choices I have for different categories. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to clear out the categories that SharePoint gives me by default because it makes no sense to my business. And I'm going to add 4 categories here. Okay, so you'll notice I've entered 2 that are kind of default and 2 that are more important to my business. And the reason I do this is simple. The default ones can give me immediate impact for color. So if I want to turn items blue and yellow without the user needing to do any extra steps, I should use the blue and yellow category options. And there's about 6 total options, red and green and orange, etc., that I can use here to provide immediate color to my end users. The other 2 are more business oriented, and so if I want to tag different events as more business related activities, I should use those tags here instead of the default Outlook ones that I've added above here. And so I've done this so I can show you the difference on how it looks in Outlook versus SharePoint here. Okay. Now my calendar is set up. I'm going to grab this URL here and connect this calendar like I would any other calendar with ProperSync. I'm going to right-click on my calendar and select Add ProperSync Source. Just paste the URL in the box and click Add. It will authenticate with the server and show me my sync options. So in the sync options, there's a few important things to consider here. We have a Synchronize SharePoint Categories checkbox, which is what we're concentrating in this demo. Below that, we have an option to apply a category to the items for this source. The main difference between the 2 options is the checkbox here will synchronize the categories at the item level. So if I tag an item with blue category, it'll be blue. If I tag it with yellow category, it will be yellow. If I tag it with public relations, it'll be tagged with public relations. If I choose not to do this and just apply a single category to all the items, then I can do that as well. And then I just go ahead and select a current category or create a new one. And again, this will apply to all items. So in our demo here, we're going to do it at the item level. So we're going to leave the bottom area blank and go ahead and synchronize the SharePoint categories here. Okay, now we're ready. So our calendar is set up to sync with SharePoint. And what I'm going to do to demonstrate that is to add a item here and tag it with a category. So to show how it will turn blue, I'll use blue. Go ahead and save that. Actually going to do a yellow one too. I'm going to use one that's a little more business centric. And we'll see the difference here when it comes down to Outlook. So the default sync engine for ProperSync is running on a 90-second timer. We slowed it down from recent versions if you're a frequent ProperSync user. It'll be a little bit slow to start. This is because of network traffic that we were experiencing with large deployments. In future releases, we'll enable a force function and an ability to change that timer, but for now it'll happen every 90 seconds. Okay, great. Now we've got our items coming down from SharePoint. And as you can see, as I explained here, two of them are immediately colored. So I'm using the blue and the yellow. And another one is not colored at all. But if I open it up, I'm going to see that it is tagged as public relations. So there's a category there. If I'd like to color this category, it's pretty easy. I'm going to go under tags here and categories. I'm going to select all categories. And I'm going to create a new category called public relations, and I'm going to give it a color. Now I'm done. So now every time a new public relations one comes down, I will have it as a teal color. And I can set up the rest of my categories to behave like that. Now that I have it in Outlook and I've synced with the server, I can create a new appointment here, attach it to our calendar, and tag it with the appropriate tags. And now that will sync back up with SharePoint, and it will share the category we applied to the item and distribute it to the rest of my team. So that's a quick demo into how to get started with categories. We'll try to provide a few more of these demonstrations based on your feedback. So please send any questions you have or feedback to support@propersync.com, and we'll do our best to get back to you in a future video. Thank you.